Okay, so now we're going to go in and we're going to edit out our teaching. So the first thing we want to do is go back to our notepad and find out where the teaching starts and ends. Now, if you look at this notepad, you'll notice that the times changed from my last example. For technical reasons, I had to reload the target file, and that changed the times. We're going to extract the teaching, so I updated the teaching time, start, and end. So we've got what we need, but that's why those numbers changed. So we're going to go and find the beginning of our teaching, which is 17 minutes and 39 seconds into the recording. We come over to our channel content. And again, you'll notice this is my channel, not the CBS channel. Again, that had to be done for technical reasons, but you would go into the CBS channel and we'll handle the logon verbally because there are passwords that are involved. So we'll find our live stream. It's usually on top, and we're going to click it so we can go in and edit. And we're going to go to the editor, which you'll find right here. So here we are, and you can see that it's kind of got some residual as to when the load went on. We're going to click Trim and Cut. Okay. The name of the game here is to take the section that we want to edit out and frame it in between these blue bands right here. So we want to go to 17 minutes and 39 seconds. You can see that there's editing flying by. There's the announcement. 17 minutes and 39 seconds. Okay, so thank you for serving. To get better resolution, you can zoom in right here, and this gives you better resolution. 17 minutes, 38. Okay, that seems a little early right here. This is what we want to be moving. I'm going to put it right here. Now, the problem is how does, this seems inaccurate, you know, we're off by a second here. The YouTube editor is actually imprecise. So when you edit, you can zoom in and think you're down at the frame level, but that's not how YouTube is going to do the edit. It takes this input in packets of information, and it is actually going to edit at the packet level, which means that you're going to be off by a second or two in the final result. So the way I handle this is I never start at the exact start of the teaching or the testimony or the section I'm interested in. I always back off just a little bit to compensate for the inaccuracy of the YouTube editor. This is a known problem. If you Google it, everybody will come back and tell you, yep, that's the way it works. This means that we always have this little smudge at the beginning and the end of our editing, because I never want to cut off part of a testimony or a teaching. So you sometimes get a little bit of the song at the end or a little bit of the announcement. We've done this for a couple of years. Nobody's complained about that. The reason I do this is if you want to be exactly accurate on this, the way you would do it is you would download the teaching to your laptop, bring it into a video editor such as Adobe Elements, Premiere, or DaVinci, and you could get right down to the frame level. Then you would render it back out and you would upload it back to the YouTube channel. That actually takes about 20 minutes per segment because it takes time for the computer to do all the work. Furthermore, when we're at Browncroft and we're live streaming through their hardwired internet. But when we're editing we're doing that through Wi-Fi, and there is a huge speed difference. I would rather have little errors like this creeping in and have this be a reasonable task in terms of the time expended than to have somebody knock themselves out for an hour, get it exactly right, because we have to turn this around rather quickly. There's an online class, and a lot of times they're looking Wednesday afternoon to see this stuff. I try and have the editing done before I leave the building Wednesday morning. So we accept the inaccuracy to make the task doable. If somebody really wants to excel at this, let me know. We'll let you do it. But that is why I have always accepted these inaccuracies. Okay, let's go back and zoom out. And we've got to go get this and bring it in. Okay, so I'm going to click that, and this little thing right here, that's the recording head. So sometimes you have to kind of click it to get this to be live. And right then and there, I am now at 34, 30, 47. Let's go take a look at our, 34, 37. I added some time at the end to make sure I would get there correctly, not trim anything off at the end. So I'm going to just kind of take this and I'm going to move it out a little bit. Okay. And then we're there, 37, 56. Usually when people are done watching the teaching, they just get out. And this makes sure that we don't accidentally cut off the end of the teaching, because that's when the big questions are getting asked about application. So now we think we have the teaching, has the edited out. So let's save it. Now, this is important. YouTube allows us to do non-destructive editing for about 24 hours. And after the end of that time period, if you edit, it will keep your edit and throw everything else away. We have 3 sections we need to pull out of this thing. So we can't afford to edit one section and have the rest of the live stream thrown away. So it's always important when we do this task to get at it immediately, within 24 hours. If I can't do it in the morning, I get it done in the afternoon. So this is an immediate turnaround task. The recovery for this is to download to a laptop and then do the editing in your private editor where that destructive editing doesn't occur. So always look for the save as new. So here we have it, save as new, and it gives this right here. And so we'll have to give it a better name. Week 1. It's going to ask us, what do we want to make this? We always make it unlisted. Unlisted means that the only way a person can access this teaching will be through Fisher. That is a CBS requirement. So we record in YouTube because it's such a wonderful facility and it's free and easy to use. But when we save it as unlisted, and then we link this video in to Fisher. If you do not get the save as new, bail out, because that means we have to download and do all the editing differently. Okay, so we saved as new. So let's go back to our channel content. Oh my, are we going to discard the changes? Believe it or not, it's okay. It's non-destructive. So we come over here and we don't see it. So what we do is we hit refresh. We come to the right spot, and there we have it. CBS Teaching Week 1. Let's edit it. And let's bring up a better thumbnail because that thumbnail is terrible. So here is the thumbnail that I made. It shows the CBS. I'm going to open it. And that looks good. Well, let's go down to the playlist. We always put these things in a playlist because people can access these things by playlist if they have the link, and some people do ask for the link. So we're going to open up our playlist. Remember, this is my own personal channel, and I'm going to add it to CBS video editing. That's now in the playlist. For real, this would be something like Matthew, Psalms, Red Sea to Jordan. You get the picture. So we're done, and we're going to save it. Okay, so let's go back to channel content now. Looks like it's going to be okay. It has processed, so we should be good at this point. The next step here would be to go in and take a look and see if the editing was okay and that you in fact did get the beginning of the section and the end of the section. It's an important check. Okay, thank you.